Welcome to another episode of Impact that has madness in a good way. I think it's the best title. So much went on in this show. There is absolutely no way I'm going to cover everything. Because it's hard to decide what is the best thing. And I know people will say, well, it is easy. No. Because you wonder where these things lead. Compared to what's going on in WWE, where many people enjoy Raw and somewhat Payback, they really don't have a clear future. You got a lot going on here. A lot. That easily could be considered, you know what? Really good. But there's things that just don't lead anywhere. Let's open with Sammy versus RVD. RVD. I still love the guy. He's still a great wrestler. Even in about, I think he's 51, almost 52. And then you look at Sammy, who should be in the main title scene. Or he should be dealing with the X Division. He should be dealing with either title right now. And he's not. And when I look at RVD with Penelope, well, I'm about to say Penelope Forbes. Katie Forbes. Miss Super Abs and Super Butt herself. I don't get why he's working with him. Sorry for the noise, guys. But I don't get it. I don't understand why he's working with him. My guess is, and this is the only thing I can think of, they're both floating. They got nothing for them to do, so they're floating. I just don't see anything for Sammy. I see nothing for RVD. But we still got a decent match out of them. And the question is, why won't they go somewhere with either one of them? I'm just saying. Reno Scum going up against Reno. Now, when it comes to the Heath, Reno Scum was looking for him. Went to Hernandez. Said they can't find him. They said they're going to take care of Rhino, but they want a bigger payout than what they've been getting. They want the entire wad that he's carrying. He said, alright, as long as you beat him. Well, guess what? They didn't beat him. When it comes down to the match, it was just Rhino, no Heath. At least until the cameraman put down his camera and then wiped out one of the members and Rhino won. So now, Heath helped out Rhino, but he's still not part of the roster. And Scott's mad because this guy keeps getting in. So, as I said before when it comes to Heath, he's doing exactly what they used to do around maybe 2016, almost 2017. I can't be sure. Was it 15 and 16 or was it 16 to 17? I think it was 2015 to 17. We had this storyline with Heath where he had no position and he's trying to get a job either on SmackDown or Raw. That's what we got here. Same thing. But at least you can say that it feels more organic compared to being overwritten in WWE. I'm saying that and I'm going to stick with it. We got Wrestle House. It's finally over. Wrestle House is now finished and everyone came back. And I will get to Donna Perazzo in a few minutes. But we finally had the showdown between a Valkyrie, a assassin, and a ref. Taya Valkyrie versus the Rosemary with Johnny Bravo as pretty much as the ref. Now a lot happened in Wrestle House. You had that really silly, not match, but fight between XXXL and the Deaners, where the actual winner was Susie because she was not happy that they broke the truce. And she wiped out everybody. There she is in my face with Tommy, and he did just raise her hand, and she won. She wiped everyone out because they broke the truce. And everyone disappeared and headed back. Well, maybe let me crank this back and go to the actual match. It wasn't much. It was a simple match that we've seen between these two before, but it doesn't mean it was bad. It was simple, it was direct, it was about the story of who was going to get Johnny Bravo. And in the end, Taya won, Rosemary lost, but guess what? Johnny still, he said it clearly, you know what? I don't care. He takes a bite of what started it all, the apple that Rosemary wanted to offer him to try and get his soul. He bites the sucker, eats it, and takes out a ring and offers it to... They're in my face. I didn't think they would actually go there with this situation. Because the way the situation is, where does it go once he marries Rosemary? I don't know. But they did go there. And Tyre wasn't totally against it. I gotta agree with Johnny Bravo. He pretty much said it clearly, and I did like how he said it. He said, look, yes, you lost, but it doesn't change how I feel. Yes, I still gotta work with Tyre Valkyrie, but I can define my relationship. I can work with a colleague, and I can marry someone I want. And that's when they went with it, and that's when it disappeared. Now, Deonna Purrazzo. She really made this black tie affair feel a little bit forced. Wasn't 100% bad, but it did feel a little forced because, you know what? It didn't really feel like it hit the mark with me personally at first, but once you started talking and once you got past the part with Kimberly, and I'm not saying Kimberly wasn't good in her role, it felt like it was forced at first until you hear how she spoke and said, look, I've gone through everyone. I deserved this. It wasn't with the people, well, the people here are not what I would like, but I want to celebrate. And then we get Jordynne Grace putting over. Then we get Tennille Dashwood coming back finally. And then you got Tennille Dashwood having a little attitude with Jordynne Grace because Jordynne Grace pretty much said, you know what? Who the hell do you think you are? You haven't been around in months. I at least been busting my butt. And pretty much Wrestle House appears. Kylie Ray gets into a fight with Deonna Purrazzo along with Susie and everyone else. And in the end, you see the number one contender holding the title with Susie. I'm not saying it was bad. The ending wasn't bad. I thought that seeing this situation with Deonna Purrazzo now getting new challengers is the best thing. Because she needs challengers. She does. And I'm alright with that. Now the question is going to be how far they're going to go with Tennille. What are they going to do with Jordynne Grace? What are they going to do with Kimberly? Is Navarra or Jessica Havoc, even though they're still not talking about tag titles, are they also going to go after the title? Which I think they should. They need women for Deonna Purrazzo to go through. If they don't, it's going to be a mess. Because they're only going to have a few women working, and that's going to be a reflection of what WWE is doing when it came to Sasha, Bayley, and Asuka. That's just me. Tell me below. Let's see here. We got a little bit of a Jew with TJ Perkins. And now, next week, TJ's going up against what? Why? Why? Why is TJP going up against Chris Bay now? There was no confrontation between the two. I know that Raju was trying to manipulate the situation, but there's nothing leading into the manipulation and then getting this match between the two. You don't see Scott coming out and stating it. It's just been arranged, and I feel like it was really badly booked. They should have built into it with something. Like there had been some type of confrontation between Chris and TJP. If I didn't see it, I'm sorry guys, I didn't see it. But it just didn't feel right. Brian Myers and Myers, I was right. Brian Myers had his moment in interviewing, saying he's going to do something with Willie Mack. Then gets upset because Moose is looking for the title that, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. And he said, and he's looking for EC3. He told him, and then he felt insulted. So what does that mean? Does that mean Moose is now going to have a problem with Brian Myers? I doubt it. But it was something. Finally, Eddie versus EY. Eric Young. About to say Eli. EY. In a match that I felt should have been saved for a pay-per-view, but it's understandable that they don't have a pay-per-view right now. It needed to be done. If they're not doing an Impact Plus special event, and they're not doing a pay-per-view, or some type of themed impact, this is what you're going to do. It was a good match. In the end, you see the mask in my face. He uses that to win, which is not a bad thing. He is a heel that would do whatever it takes to win. And he does win. I just feel like there was something missing. And then I figured it out. Crowds. Fans. No fans. Eric Young was by himself. And it felt empty. And yes, it was a good thing that he destroyed the knee of an Eddie Edwards. Or at least tried to. But when you look at this situation, he really needed some audience to really make it feel important. And it was not. And that hurt me personally. That just did. Now, I might as well talk about this before I get to the last thing. Look, I like Reno Scum. And I don't have any interest in the Rascals. They had a good match. But here's the thing. No, wait a minute. My mistake. I guess I'm tired because I've been up for quite a while. It's been really noisy. It's been really messing with my anxiety, guys. I've not been able to sleep right. The area has been a little wild in the last couple of days. It has made me very tired. So I've been up, like 19 hours. I've not slept yet. And I got to still edit this and upload it before I eat something and then try to sleep. Ugh. Anyway, take that back. It was not Reno Scum versus the Rascals. It was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus the Rascals, and then the Motor City Machine Guns coming out after the end of that match. Now, I'm not saying the match was good or bad. It was not about the match. It was about them getting a second shot at the Motor City Machine Guns. And I'm going like, what? Why is the Motor City... They're in my face. Look. Seeing the Motor City Machine Guns offering a opportunity to the Rascals is understandable. Well, we've seen the Rascals over and over again, and I've not seen them win anything. Now, I'm not saying the feud between Ace and Madman is over. And we saw what was going on with the Good Brothers talking about having fun. But still, I don't know why they're doing this instead of making it mean something. Well, I do know because they don't have enough people to work with. What tag teams does Impact Wrestling have? They had the Motor City Machine Guns. They got Reno Scum. They had XXL that just came back. They got the Deaners. And they got the Rascals. Not talking about the Good Brothers, but that's what they got. And I would have liked to see them put a tournament on. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Would you rather see a tournament or just the Motor City Machine Guns setting something up for next time instead of making it mean something? They're supposed to be the title holders and they're just giving out a opportunity like that when there were no teams around at all and everyone knows it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Finally, EC3 wanting to taunt Moose, saying, look, you got to find me. If you don't, I'm going to destroy the title and bring it to you, send it to you piece by piece. But the kicker is, I don't hate you. I actually like you, Moose. But you need to learn. And you need to be warned. And when he finally tracks down a room where he thinks EC3 and the title is, he finds a board with all of his... It's in my face. It was very interesting to see that EC3 is showing a little bit of madness. Setting up theories and conspiracy theories and setting up maps so Moose will have to track him down. Madness. But in a good way. This gave us so many different things to look at. So many different directions. You don't know if any of them are going to work because a lot of this hasn't been booked very well. You don't know how far they're going to go with it because those have been booked well. You just don't know. And then you have the anticipation of something that hopefully is going to be really good. But then, like in Eric Young now being champion, You wonder how far they're going to go with him. And he really needed crowd to really get himself over because he felt empty. Where are they going? It's madness. But you know what? It could still work. And this is my point of view. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.